Oh, oh. It's like
Yeah,
going to a
funny guy.
wake. It's like going
Wait.
to a wake. Wait, look at Nick's got Tua
Funny
smiling.
guy.
Yeah,
Tua's smiling and is going because, hey, I suck, but I'm still making how many millions?
yeah, 53 million. I
He's
put this loss directly on the back of Chris Greer. He's the one that drafted Tua. He's the one that gave him that outrageous, unbelievable contract that we can't get out from underneath. That's going to saddle this team down for the next 2 or 3 years. It's just, I mean, we've got to draft a quarterback. First round, we got to draft a quarterback, and Tua is going to be the highest paid backup quarterback in the league.
And not just Tua,
well.
Tyreek Hill too.
Think about it.
Well, no, Tyreek, I don't mind Tyreek. Tyreek can play. Tyreek makes plays.
Think
You know,
about
but
it.
even the play he got hurt on, he made a play. We got a first down. You know, I mean, he jumped up with. There's nothing wrong with Tyreek. It's Tua. Tua is terrible. He is digressed. I mean, unbelievably. How can he be this bad? How can he be this bad?
Well, it's
Even the
it's
announce
almost like he aged like 7 or 8 years in one year.
Hey,
Right? I
Troy Aikman was still like amazed about how bad he was with some of the
Well,
throws he made.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. He's just, I can't believe how bad he is. He should have been taken out of that game after the first interception.
That,
Eh,
that's 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 my thing. Okay, I want to get the first of. Hey, welcome to the Fintastic Four.
Yeah,
Happy, joy, joy.
yeah, we're all smiling like Tua.
um, we got Jose, Jeff, Nick. You know all the things. Like,
Tua.
subscribe, show us some love here. If you're anywhere even close to me a Finns game, you know what happened last night. Um, but that's the thing. Have you ever seen a team where a quarterback stunk up so bad, so many times in one season, and they don't pull them for the backup and say it's time for a change?
Look,
But it's like, it's that contract. Like I said, it's like
it
He's
they
in
can't pull him.
control. He's
it
in
doesn't
control.
matter. Grow a set of balls. The Broncos did it. They took the $88 million cap hit on Russell Wilson, and they're doing just fine.
Yeah,
Yep.
Look, they're number one.
yeah.
Well, it's time.
It's
Grow a set and pick somebody else to play the position.
what's
What
Russell
I
Wilson
think they're
doing
doing is, I
nowadays?
think they're waiting for Tua to have a good game and then bench him, because that way he has more trade value. And say, look, he threw 3 touchdowns or whatever. You know, he's a good quarterback. And then the Dolphins will go in and make a trade with somebody in the offseason and carry half of his contract or something, cut that number in half, try to, and then get rid of him.
Nobody
But
wants this.
you're not gonna. He's not gonna have that game. He's not gonna have the good game.
The problem is it used to be, hey, he sucks so bad. Well, at least you can trade him to the Raiders. They're dumb enough to take him. But now the Raiders got Tom Brady as one of the owners, so that ain't gonna happen anymore.
Uh,
um, really, I mean, you look at this. If you look at his stats, it wasn't that bad. Okay, when you look at
No,
stats,
it was
I
bad.
mean, it was comparable to Aaron Rodgers.
yeah. But the problem is, we all know it. Most of that stuff was in garbage time when the game was
It's
over.
Yeah, that's true.
62 yards going into the fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It was, if you look at it from here, from this point of view, 22 or 28 for 253 yards, go, hey, they should have won. No, he sucked until the fourth quarter when Pittsburgh said, okay, we're going to give you everything underneath because we just don't want you to score. All right. Um, I don't know. People are saying already, people are saying about the cold.
I don't think it had anything to do with it.
I don't
We were
think
That's
so.
the
hitting.
best.
If it would
It
have been
wasn't snowing.
snowing, if it would have been snow packed on the ground, but it was a clean field, it was
Yeah.
just cold, you know.
Yeah. Seriously, why it's like what Jeff said, huh? It's because of the money they got the I really I mean
Tua's in control. When you put
Tua.
up that kind of money, Tua, you put the quarterback in control. You can't get anybody unless he gives a little money up,
Yeah.
right? So he basically gets to pick what tight ends, what wide receivers, what offense comes in, because he's going to have to give up some of his salary in order to do that, right? So that's what happens when you put a big giant contract on the quarterback. He becomes any player that he kind of holds the purse strings to a certain extent, right? And that's kind of what's happening with Tua, right? I kind of go with Nick, right? Just take it on the chin, right? And just cut him and get a rookie and ride the rookie contract. I think you know how it is, right? I think there's some players in the draft right now that are looking attractive. We may have a shot at them.
There's
We
some.
should be looking at that.
This is supposed to be a good year for quarterbacks. Okay, we're not getting Mendoza. Forget that. All right.
Well, he won the
Why
Heisman, so you
not,
don't really
man?
want a Heisman winner. Heisman Trophy winners are usually really bad when they get to the pros.
Yeah, but Mendoza's a pro style quarterback.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's going to be
Yeah.
good, unless he goes to the Jets because they screw everybody over. He's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. That
And
other
he's
guy,
from South Florida.
yeah, that
I
other
mean, the
guy,
Dolphins were his childhood team,
but
He would probably love to go to the Dolphins.
yeah, but that's not going to happen. There's just no way he'll slide down the draft, unless he gets busted for something or something. I'm sorry, Zach Wilson, put him in there. Put
Why
him in
not?
there.
Why
He
not?
can't do any worse.
Why not?
For a moment, there was a sliver of hope in that fourth quarter until they decided that the hurry up offense was to take all 40 seconds of the play clock on every single play.
Yeah.
I've never seen them take so long on so many plays. They took 40 seconds on every single play.
Yeah. I don't know. That team just.
I don't know what that is.
Well, the team was ready to play. Let's hear it for the defense.
Oh.
If I was the defensive coach or the defensive players need to get together and go to the coach and say, listen, you need to bench this guy. We're out there playing our asses off, and you put this guy in there and he can't throw a 10-yard pass. Come on, bench him and put somebody in there that can throw the ball down the field. And, because the defense kept us in that game, but the offense kept putting us in bad situations, putting the defense in bad situations, and then, of course, we got Aaron Rodgers, who's cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
He's going to take advantage of every single opportunity,
Yeah.
The game should have been worse because there are some other passes to it that should have been interceptions, but Pittsburgh doesn't have that great of a defense. Right. It's not like they ran into the steel curtain or something. Pittsburgh's a mediocre team at best.
Yeah.
They'll make the playoffs, but they'll probably be knocked out in the first round. All right.
They're going to have a home playoff game, so they should get through the first round.
They're going to win the division, right?
Well, they might win the division, but still, they're not that good of a team. Nobody's afraid. Nobody thinks the Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. All right.
They're going to the playoffs.
Better Miami, but there are a couple of times where there should have been more. The game shouldn't even have been as close as it was. All right, that offense was. By the end of the second quarter, by halftime, I knew this game was over.
Well, yeah. Well, the Pittsburgh defense, they just had to key off the run because they knew there was going to be no passing yards from Tua. They didn't have to worry about Tua at all. They could just drop everybody down into the box and stop the run, and that's what they did.
Oh, yeah.
No threat from Tua to throw the ball at all.
And it's pretty much now common knowledge, right? You got to do everything you can to stop, the run game, and Miami's got to pull out an extra lineman and have tight ends back there with the fullback, right? They're committed to running. They're gonna run the ball. I mean, they do stuff that I ain't never seen in my whole entire life. When it comes to setting up a run formation, So they're committed. But you know what? If you stop it, then you have then it's Tua time, and we needed. How bad did we need a quarterback in that game? Come the third quarter, right? Come to third quarter, it's like this is where we, if the running game ain't if we can't lean into the running game, and we need some play action pass, and we started. Didn't the game kind of start weird, right? Tua kind of peels out and has a really nice play action pass and for 20 yards right off the bat. And I'm like, all right. And then it just kind of it just got weird, from a play call perspective. And before he knew it, we had to punt, and I don't know, play calling. Right. And it's just not. And Tua, we don't have a quarterback.
How many sacks did Tua take because he couldn't get rid of the ball? He was too
Four
afraid.
sacks.
He's so afraid now of throwing a bad pass, especially after that first
couple of those,
interception.
he was out of the pocket and could have just thrown it to the sideline.
Yeah,
and didn't do it. Just took the sack.
Yeah, I mean, geez, just toss it off.
Aaron Rodgers had 3 sacks for 23 yards. Tua had 4 sacks for 31 yards. But Tua had that nasty interception.
But at least Aaron Rodgers sacks. He was in the pocket. He was looking for a receiver, and the Dolphins have a good secondary, and there was a cover thing. I'm sorry, Tua was outside the pocket. That's why they have that rule outside the pocket. When you go outside the pocket, you can throw the ball out of bounds and not take a sack.
You just get it back to the line of scrimmage. That's all you have to do.
Yeah,
but I swear these guys on offense, maybe not every single one of them, but they have horrible situational IQ.
Yeah,
like fourth quarter, 5 minutes left. I forget, I don't know who it was. He could have went out of bounds, but he spun to the inside and gets tackled, and the clock keeps running. And I'm like, you already got the first down. Why didn't you just go out of bounds?
I've said since we started doing this show, there's some quarterbacks when a team has a quarterback and there's 2 minutes left and you're behind, he could pull it out. There's a chance. Tua, you never think he's going to pull it out. You go, okay, Tua's got the ball. We got this. Okay. Even with in the Bills, even the Chiefs, as bad as they are this year, you always thought, hey, Mahomes, we got this. There's a chance with Mahomes, he can pull this out. Really, have any of you guys ever thought, oh, Tua can do this?
About 2 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like a couple of years ago, I kind of felt like if he got behind, if he had the ball, that he was methodically going to work the ball down the field. We were going to have it for a considerable amount of time. I felt that for a couple years with Tua. Not right now.
I've never had that feeling when the game's on the line with
under
2 minutes. Tua is the guy I want to have the ball.
How many magical moments did we have over like the past 10 years? We had the miracle against the Patriots. We had the big comeback win against Baltimore.
Yeah. But that wasn't with Tua. That wasn't with Tua.
Yeah, that was with Tua.
With the miracle? No, that was
that was Tannehill.
That was Tannehill.
Miracle was Tannehill. Yeah. But they just gave up on that final 9 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I agree with Nick with the terrible time management there, clock management. I mean, that was almost a coaching, that's almost a fireable offense right there. You have a chance to get back into the game and then you just mismanage the clock so badly. It was, even the commentator said that they were waving the white flag like they had just given up on the game. And they did. It was sad to watch. It was embarrassing, really.
It's a little side note. Did you guys feel that there was a little passive aggressive, dig at Miami when they ran Janu Smith from the running back position?
That wasn't passive aggressive. That was like, hey,
he had 1 carry for 14 yards for a touchdown.
And I don't think anyone touched him on that either.
No.
That wasn't passive aggressive. That's like, Because let's face it, the beginning of the game, the Dolphins defense was sticking it to them. The first quarter and a half, they were like, some of them were even like borderline dirty hits. And Pittsburgh probably was pissed off. They go, let's stick it to them. Let's really rub it into them.
Yeah, number 81 lines up as a running back.
It's the NFL. Nothing's passive aggressive in the NFL.
That was like a zinger. It's like zing. I was like, oh, was that? No. Yeah, no, yes. No. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Chris Greer.
Yeah, that's who I'm laying this whole situation on is Chris Greer. He's the one that drafted Tua. He's the one that hired the coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was in the coach's corner even after Chris Greer was fired off. You know, he's got the team fired. He had the team fired up for the game last night. That defense came out and played lights out. If the offense could have just got something together, we could have won that game.
But from the defensive perspective, Jeff, 100%. That defense, the defense, when the defense, that first half ended, the defense said, we came to play.
Yeah. They were hitting hard too.
And then it was just, 3 and out after 3 and out, the defense gets wore down by the end of the game. You can't stop, if the offense just had to do something, go put some points on the board, take some time off the clock with a nice long drive to let your defense rest a little, but it never happened. They just, and then of course the total clock mismanagement and the boneheaded play calls and of course the not pulling Tua. Now if he would have pulled Tua, somewhere halfway through the third quarter, we might have had a chance.
Well, I'm just looking here at the press conference today.
Oh wait,
McDaniels told reporters in Miami, the quarterback play was not good enough. And for me, everything is on the table when he was asked about benching Tua.
You know what? That is some BS. Because I'm going to tell you this. The season's over, so it doesn't matter if he does that. Yeah. If he had the balls to do it,
he needed to do it halfway through the third quarter of last night's game.
Or 5 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago. Then it's a different story. But this
doesn't matter. It's all guaranteed money.
This now it doesn't matter. He could play Quinn Ewers for all anyone cared. We're out.
Should we? Now, that's a good question.
No, you got to play Zach Wilson. Okay, he's your number 2. Yeah. He's actually started some games. He was
a number 2 pick in the draft.
Yeah, he was supposed to be a good player, but he went to the Jets. Okay, yeah. The Jets where they're great players go to the Jets and they get broken. Okay,
so do we start him against Cincinnati?
Why not? It's Cincinnati. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, because Tua's quarterback plays. God,
it's terrible.
And if anything, Cincinnati's defense is so bad. Cincinnati's got one of the worst defenses in the league. So you might want to play somebody like Wilson to get his confidence up and go, hey, let's see what you can do. All right.
Yeah. I put Tua as the emergency third quarterback.
Yeah. And considering I didn't even know this stat, Miami had minus 20 yards in total offense in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Minus 20 yards.
And that's when they should have pulled Tua. I think I even said it on the text message. I said it's time to pull Tua, and because it was going nowhere fast, and we still had time at that point. The game was still within 2 scores. Something you pull in the backup quarterback, and usually a backup quarterback, when they are suddenly thrust into the game, they don't have the nerves, the nervousness and stuff that you would have knowing you're going to start all week. They come in and they play really well. It's that whole week of preparation that gets them nervous, and then they come out and stink up the place. But usually the backup, when they got to come in halfway through a game and they're not expecting it, they come in and they play well because they don't have the nerves. They're just coming in and concentrating on the throws and the things they got to do. And it was just game mismanagement all the way around. Like Nick was saying, the football awareness, the situational awareness of the team was just absent completely. You know, and I've always been situational football. You know, you play to the situation that you're in. That's the way Don Shula always did. And, you know, he was always able to adjust on the fly. He was always able to read, you know, okay, our running game's not working, we're passing, or our passing game's not working, we're running. He was always able to take the situation and then turn it into as an advantage. But, you know, we have a coach that is still learning. He's still, in my opinion, has a long way to go to be a really good head coach, if he ever will be.
What I'm enjoying is the reaction of the different media outlets. Dave Hyde, who I always from the Sunset, who I always thought was Tua's secret lover, finally has said it's time to move. The Tua era is done.
Yeah.
The Palm Beach Post, of course, who does everything to kiss the Dolphins' ass, is saying that the idea of benching Tua is an overreaction.
You might as well see what you have. You got 3 games to see what's on this roster.
Yeah.
I mean, is he going to be? I mean, we're assuming that he's not going to be the quarterback next year. You know,
Well,
assuming he's going to be the quarterback next year.
That's going to make an ass out of you and me.
With this team, I don't assume anything like that.
No. And I've said it all season that they're going to carry him and the coach through next year because of the contract. You know, and like I said, they're just trying to get one good game out of Tua and then bench him. And then they have some sort of draft or some sort of trade capital that they can say, look, he just scored 3 touchdown passes. You know, he looked great. Trade for him. We'll carry half his salary for you. You know, and they can get him cheap. If the other team can get him cheap, then
I would give you a 5th. That's how bad I think he is. You ain't getting.
Oh, he's terrible. And there's nobody that wants him after last night. I mean, this was, you know, national television.
Just, you know, grow a set and cut him. I'll round of applause.
If we cut him, he's game.
Yeah,
there'll be no team that picks him up. Maybe as a backup, you know.
Some team will pick him up if they renegotiate the contract. That's the only way.
Yeah.
And Tua's got to decide whether if he wants to play anymore. Which,
yeah, but if Tua gets guaranteed money,
yeah,
somebody's going to have to beat that. I mean, unless he really wants to play, if he just sits at home, he collects more than what he's probably going to negotiate as a backup.
Well, whoever the QB is, I still back him.
I'm going to say something here.
I like it.
Yeah. Tua as a human being, I think he's a nice guy.
Oh, he's a great guy.
And I see all those injuries, those concussions and everything. And I think, frankly, he should have quit last year.
Well,
okay, because money is great. He's already got money. He's already got more money he's ever going to probably spend. And unless he's an idiot, he's going to be fine the rest of his life, him and his family. And to risk that head injury, brain injury, for something as stupid as a football game. You know, he's already got millions in the bank. I don't understand it.
I think there's something wrong physically too right now. You know, because that one interception that he threw across his body, he threw it up like a duck. You know, it was just all weak, and it was like, what, you know, Tua usually would make, and that wasn't a deep pass. It wasn't like he was throwing it down the field, right? He wasn't pushing it down the field, right? It was just
through the receiver.
It was a pass that he makes on a regular basis, except this time it seemed like he just either his mechanics were off and he just threw up a weak throw, right? Or he's hurt and nobody's saying some things about it and he can't put zip on the ball.
That interception didn't bother me as much as the other one that the Pittsburgh guy dropped.
Yeah,
that's like, who was he throwing the ball to?
He threw it right to the Pittsburgh guy, and the Pittsburgh guy didn't want it. He wasn't ready.
Yeah, I mean,
but what you guys are saying about these passes and how they're looking out, did you notice when he throws it, the ball seems to be falling, like the back end of the ball just like it's dying the second he throws the ball.
He has no zip.
It looks like Jeff throwing a football out of the tailgate. Right?
like it's dragging an anchor as it's flying through the air. The ball is just like there's no.
Yeah, it's like he has no arm strength. You know what happens to quarterbacks at halfway or towards the end of the season is they start losing arm strength because their arm is wore out.
Every time I think about Tua, I'm like, there was something in the air that night. The stars so bright, Fernando.
He never had the strongest arm.
But
He
No, he never
underthrew a
did.
lot. He never was. He wasn't a zipper. He didn't have that. He wasn't, as they call him, a gunslinger who could fire that
Right.
ball. He never was that guy.
we need a good young gunslinger out of the draft. He'll be there. And take him.
I want somebody.
With this running game, he should be good.
Well, the last show we did, I was saying that I would give up everything we could get to go get Trevor Lawrence from Jacksonville. And Trevor was not having a really great season. It would have been a really good time to try to trade for him, but then he goes and has 6 touchdowns.
He goes and kills
He
it
throws
that day.
5 touchdowns and runs for a touchdown.
Yeah.
He looks like a deer running, running through the field. And it's just like he looked
Hey,
like
leave it,
bigger and
Jacksonville.
taller than all the other players on the field. He's like I said, he's a prototype quarterback.
Mhm.
If we could have got Trevor Lawrence, this whole season would have been totally different.
100%.
Hey, how about Joe Burrow? I mean, there's rumblings. He
Get
wants
him.
out.
He wants to be happy.
If
Hey.
I was Cincinnati, I'd trade him and get a bunch of draft picks for him because, that's a team that definitely needs to be rebuilt.
We'll give him a 5th
And
round.
see, the Dolphins are a quarterback away, right? We don't really need all these draft picks because we already are stacked on defense. We have a very good offensive line. We have skill players we're a quarterback away. So I'm all for it. Let's trade all our draft picks for Burrow, or try to trade up into the draft to get somebody that's a prototype quarterback. The guy's got to be at least 6'5".
The Dolphins are
rocket arm.
The Dolphins need a tight end, another good wide receiver, because Waddle's good, but he's not great. And the Dolphins need a really good pass rusher, an outside guy. They don't have that.
Well, we got Chubb. Chubb is a great pass rusher, and then of course we have a tight end, Waller. Of course, we don't know if he's going to be around next season.
He ain't going to be around.
But I would do everything I could to keep Waller because he's clearly the best. Him and Achan are the best players on offense.
Brewer needs to stay too.
What about Waddle, man? What are you talking about?
I don't see Waller coming back because he came back. He came back for the money, and that's it.
Waddle.
Oh, well. Anyway, oh God, this was painful. Oh God, it hurts to be a Miami Dolphins fan.
What kind of time we got left? Do we got time to do the scene?
Do it.
Do it.
Just don't ask Jose anything.
I'll go last.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to the South Florida scene, the South Florida sports scene, the sports scene in South Florida, however you want to call it. We call it the scene. That's where we're going to look at all the other teams besides the Dolphins because, let's face it, the Dolphins aren't worth looking at anymore. So I think the last scene we did was Jose taking over with the Hurricanes, and we'll get to them last. But I think the last scene we did, the Miami Heat were on fire. They had won several games in a row, and they were really playing good. And the Panthers were kind of struggling with all the injuries they had. And now it's done an about face. Now the Heat is really struggling. They've got their injured stars back, Bam and Tyler Hero. And now they're stinking up the place. They can't beat the worst team in the league. They lost last night again. And it's the opposite for the Panthers. All of a sudden, the Panthers are looking like Stanley Cup champions, even with the injured players they have out. The Panthers won last night in dominating fashion. It was kind of funny, though, because a couple games before, the Panthers had like the worst game of their season. They lost by like 6 goals or something. They were playing a second of a 2-night in a row thing, and they went into the best team in the league, which is the Colorado Avalanche, and they just got blown out. They were a step behind. You could tell they were tired. They had played the night before. They had to go with their backup goalie, and it was their worst game of the season. They came back a couple days later, had the best game of the season, won by like 5 or 6 goals, and looked like Stanley Cup champions. So I'm hoping that continues, and the Panthers can make it. They're about midway in the standings. They're not on top or anything like that because they've been struggling without their star Sasha Barkov. But they're in a position to make the playoffs, and the rumor is that Sasha Barkov, after major knee surgery, is now working out without a knee brace.
What the?
And is actually on skates. And I'm like, we can't. I'm like, no, he's like saying, I'll be back for the playoffs. And I'm like, no, you can't risk losing him for the rest of his career.
Right? Yeah.
We just have to settle with, we'll make the playoffs. We're not going to win the Stanley Cup. And then he'll come back full strength next year. And
not
we'll
going to
go
win
out
the Stanley
again.
Cup. No, that's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Bar's too high now.
Yeah. But now the Heat are just struggling. I mean, they can't make a shot. It's sad, really. And I'm counting on them to win because, Papa John's has the half-price pizza the day after a Heat win. And they lost last night. And I'm thinking, well, at least I'll get pizza tomorrow. No, they lost. No pizza. So now I'm eating like chicken and macaroni and cheese, so it's a step down for sure. But anyway, we have the Hurricanes that miraculously made the playoffs, which everybody said it wasn't going to happen. Yeah, everybody give the U. So we're going to see what happens there. And I might point out that the Inter Miami with Leo Messi won the MLS championship, which nobody, I guess, is really talking about because it's soccer and we don't care about soccer in the United States. But, I mean, we have another South Florida team that wins the championship and getting ready to open up a new stadium.
That'd be awesome.
Right by the airport. What? Oh, God. The traffic going to be murder. Murder.
Just don't schedule a flight during a game or after the game.
God.
Hey, not to take anything away from all those soccer players in the MLS, but I just feel like Messi coming over here to the MLS is like me playing against him.
Yeah. Well, he certainly elevates that team, that's for sure. And the other players start playing a lot better around him.
Are you going to go to that? Are you going to go to the hockey game at the Marlins Stadium?
I want to. I do want to.
Yeah.
The Winter Classic.
The Winter Classic. Yeah,
they're having in the Lone Depot Park there where the Marlins play baseball.
I like it. Let's do it so it's like old-fashioned hockey outdoors on the ice. Let's do it in Miami.
We close the roof and turn on the air conditioner and make it feel like it's cold.
Too much humidity. It's too much humidity.
They have a tennis tournament in the stadium now coming, also in Marlins Park, and then you have the World Baseball Classic. I love the World Baseball Classic. Oh, that's so good. Oh, I love baseball. Go Marlins. The Marlins are going to be good next year.
I think so. I think you're right. They were good this year. They were a lot of fun to watch.
They were one of the best teams at the end of the season. They got some great pitching. It's going to be fun to watch them next year.
They're a good farm system for the New York Yankees.
Yeah, they've always been the farm system for the Yankees for sure. As soon as somebody goes to all-star level, they trade them to the Yankees.
Look how good that's worked out for the Yankees.
Still, I love Stanton.
Let's hear this hurricane report. Let's see what our chances are in the playoff game here. Who are we playing again?
We're playing Texas A&M.
That's
Texas
a good team.
A&M.
Yeah, and they're favored
on Saturday. Right, on Saturday.
And they're playing in Texas.
Texas.
Yeah,
and they're favored. But we're coming off of like a 6-game, streak, and they're coming off a loss to Texas. But they're pretty much, I would say, I'm not going to say they're pretty much the same team. But I would say they're on the same level. I think it's going to be close. But I think Miami pulls it out. I
Yeah.
look, we have a good running team. We can stop the run. It's really going to be about which Carson Beck shows up. If you see Carson Beck having a good game, we're probably going to win that game. The defense is going to show up. It's going to be like Jeff wants. We're going to have some long drives. The defense is going to be fresh all game. And Ruben Bain is going to have a day.
Well, my a problem in Miami is in the bracket from hell.
Yes, they are.
Because even if they win this game, then
Left
they have
and
to go to play Ohio State.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they have to play if they win. Oh well.